Alright, I totally forgot to update my stuff. That's on me. I had to stop it so I could update it and then do it again. Hopefully that all checks out okay. That's on me. That's a me issue. I totally forgot to update everything, and yeah, that happened. That's definitely a thing that happened. So I'm tired. That's probably it. I was so like, because I did my music video yesterday, and I was just like, oh my god, like today I was like, I want to run Hildybrand Adventures, and I was like, okay, I need to like post this here and this here and this here, and then I totally forgot to like update my stream info. Scatterbrain today. Okay. We got this, though. Alright, DeLorean, what's going on? Delian is trembling with barely contained enthusiasm. Raza, eager to resume our investigations. I know I am. Do you recall that scrap of alien starship we discovered? Well, Inspector Brandy Hill has employed his unsettling calculative capacity to extrapolate the damage to a greater whole, and he has concluded that the vessel would be incapable of flight without extensive repairs. Our most likely scenario then is that some unknown agent made off with the starship wreckage, along with Pew Pew's acquaintance. Fortunately, I have a fair idea of who that unknown agent might be. After all, there's a singularly shadowy cabal with a history of concealing extraterrestrial activity. Actually, let's head over to Kama first. The inspector and the others are staying in a dwelling area there, and I'd rather not explain myself twice. Alright, DeLorean. I'm just gonna call him that forever now. Oh, there's a Ethernet port there. That makes life easier for me. Yeah, that makes life much easier for me. But I want the new relic weapons look sexy as hell, and I want them. Where's the entrance? Oh, hey, there's a little stalker guy. He's there. He's around. I like looking for the little, like, stalker dude. Oh, okay. It's not like a instance within an instance. Aw, Pew Pew. I see all the people with Pew Pew minions, and I really want it. "'Tis horrible misfortune, Raza. Calamitous even. Poor Master Pew Pew has fallen gravely ill." Well, I mean, he's not really built for this climate, so yeah. He's so bluish green. More so, I mean. Could he have caught a cold? I suppose it was quite chilly up there in Garlemald. Pew Pew is an alien. Who knows what extraterrestrial diseases might be ravaging his body? Let's blow him up! Nauseous delights are the best medicine for whatever ails you, as the inspector himself can attest. I'm ready to blow this thing to the ground. Good gods, Nasha, you'll blow our host's domicile to pieces. Put them away. Oh, come on. If I may, when I was cloned from the inspector, certain gaps in my knowledge were patched with supplementary data from the starship's archives. This information included an encyclopedic understanding of Master Pew Pew's physiology, which should be sufficient for me to diagnose his condition. A Xenoman hybrid mind, that explains the impossible calculations. I really hope we get this as an emote at some point. Like, something like this as an emote at some point. That'd be amazing. I have it! Master Pew Pew is afflicted by a terrible case of the common cold. Gods grant me strength. According to a theorist, Master Pipu has no prior exposure to our maladies. He is thus particularly susceptible to infection and more likely to experience severe symptoms. Aha! 'Tis just as I surmised. We must put aside the case until we have nursed our stricken companion back to health. But even if it is a common cold, isn't there a risk of our medicines to him doing more harm than good? They most certainly would. Based on the results of my analysis, however, I believe I can synthesize an effective remedy. We need but gather the ingredients. Then ingredients you shall have. So what are we gathering exactly? Most of what we require can be drawn from Master Pipu's collected samples. Otherwise, there are only two which we lack. The first of these is the liver of a giant tortoise. A suitable organ can be extracted from one of the capatra which wander the salt swin's welcome. Ah, the slaughtering of a monstrous opponent. That sounds like a job for Rosa. Okay. I mean, tortoises are not hard. The other material in question is a rare fungus known as diasphorum, which I am hoping can be found among the Great World's extensive stock of alchemical reagents. Very well, Nashu, Delion, and I will scour the alchemist's shelves. Meanwhile, Ashley, you remain here and keep an eye on our ailing patient. Inspector Brandyhill, you are such an expert on all things Thavnir. I'm gonna make you mine. Oh, I wouldn't say expert. Simply conclusions from simple observations. Nothing more. As I said, I am hoping the alchemists have diazepam we need, but it really is quite rare. Once you have the tortoise liver, would you be so kind as to assist the others in procuring the fungus? They're definitely going to need it. Then let us not prolong Master Pipu's suffering a moment longer. It seems we have a job to do. Further discussion of the abduction will have to wait. Alright, let's go. Where am I going? That would be outside, right? How far outside? I'll just fly over. Oh, I can show off my new mount! I got the mount from doing all the variant dungeons. Well, not all the variant dungeons, but all the lore. I was happy this one wasn't as bad as, the first one. The first one was really hard to solo. This one I was able to kind of solo. I mean, certain of them, I did die a lot, but I was able to, like, solo it. Just riding in its mouth. I still haven't gotten all the minions yet, so I'm still, like, farming, shards from it. And, like, stuff for the items and the glam, and it's just good to have, like, a little bit of extra just in case as well. Just a little extra. Oh, it's not even, I thought it was going to be like an instance tortoise, where we would have to like wait. No, it's just, we're just killing regular tortoises. This is easy. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to help them with the alchemical reagents. I prefer my little like L2 dragon. This tiny little hat. It's tiny, tiny, tiny little hat. Actually, I zoomed in too much. Okay. Tiny hat and hammer. It is beautiful in Rosethan today. Oh my god. Sometimes it's just like raining as hell here. Okay, I'm not even going back into rods. I'm literally just... Okay, that makes life easier for me. Ah, Raza, I had every confidence you would bring us suitable livers. Alas, the dank shroom yet eludes us. The alchemist said the fungus has few applications, so they don't bother to stock it most of the time. And the stalker's behind her. Then I must put my keen inspector sense to work. Stand back whilst I tune myself with the essence of the dank. This is not going to end well. Damp is the word. Damp shroom. And you'll forgive me if I have no faith in your abilities. How dare you! 'Tis close, my friends, and getting closer even as we speak. I hear you folk are in the market for damp shrooms. I might have some to sell if you're interested. This guy is sketchy as hell. But how? We certainly are, my fine fellow. Right then, if you'll give me a moment to retrieve the goods, we can finalize our transaction on the perfumed rise. Yeah, that guy's sketchy as hell. This is going to be interesting. Was it genuine clairvoyance or sheer coincidence? I'm not sure anymore. And the stalker's right there. Though in all fairness, when it comes to Inspector Hildybrand, preternatural perception is one of the least baffling talents. In any case, we should hurry the rise and take this man up on his timely offer. This guy's sketchy. The stalker's not even that far anymore. We know he's there. He's just getting it, like, we're like, okay, whatever. Like, this guy's... Okay. We're gonna have to fight this guy, aren't we? I think this is a trap. Like, I'm calling bull. Like, this has got to be a trap. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. It's not purple. Usually when it's not purple, it means it's not, oh, the stalker's over there. It means it's, not hostile. But it's the first time for everything. Ah, you're here. Good, good. And here's a damp shroom, as promised. Oh, glad are we for your assistance. Not so fast. There's still a matter of payment. Oh, of course, of course. How much do we owe you, my good man? Considering the extreme rarity of the fungus in question, I couldn't go for less than 1 million gil. 1 million gil for one measly mushroom. That is outright robbery. A bargain, I counter. You would pay tenfold my price in the markets. I thought I could do a kindness in light of your urgent need, but I am more than willing to find another buyer if you wish to spit upon my generosity. Nashu, how fare we for coin? We're plumb out, Inspector. I make bombs. Then this is a prickly pickle. Were we to obtain sufficient funds at such short notice? I'm not paying that. A million gil. I have an orchestrion roll collecting problem. Gotta buy them all. Spent the last return to oblivion. Oh, that's such a good answer. I have to do it. Yeah, no, that's such a good answer. If that's the way of it, then I shall beg father for the necessary amount. Saving Master Peepew's life is worth every gil. Give that man nothing. Is it Godbert? Please be Godbert. Oh, no, it's somebody else. Uh-oh. We're gonna watch some shenanigans ensue. have you now, deceitful scum. Your swindling days are over. Razahan City Guard, at your service. We received reports of this man's questionable activities and have been keeping a close eye on him ever since. Damn sure is a rare find, the bazaar, to be sure, but only because there's no real demand for it. The price this Charlatan quoted was quite frankly ludicrous. But thanks to your ignorance and poor judge of character, we were able to catch him in the act. As a token of our gratitude, you are welcome to keep the fungus, assuming you still want it. We were so dumb, we got what we needed. This is like me at an airport. I'm just a dumb blonde. Don't find me, like, you know, threatening in any way, shape, or form. I'm just a child. Yes, very much so. That is magnanimous of you. You think I enjoy tricking fools out of their coin? If that bastard hadn't declared my job redundant, I wouldn't have needed to stoop so low. He blames a rising star among the merchant princes for his woes. Vondi, I believe his name was, purchased the trading consortium where the man was working, which led to a restructuring of the hierarchy, put a lot of people out of work. Vondi, I know that name. Something about his acquisitions deal gone sour. Father was willing to sell him a slice of his Hainish enterprise, I think, but balked when the man offered to buy our family business in its entirety. Truly, there is no telling how deep coffers of this Vondi are, nor do any know the secret of how he amassed such kingly wealth so damnably fast. There are whispers, though, that he solved alchemy's oldest and most legendary of problems, the transmutation of base metal into gold. Unlikely, to say the least, but whatever the source of Vondi's riches, he shows no reluctance in spending them. He's bought a historic temple to serve as his home, and commissioned a private airship among other extravagant expenditures. Nice for some, eh? I think this is the guy who is consorting with the head. Car, that swindling case had barely started before you solved it, Inspector. Oh, the fine day's work, my dear Nashu. I believe our business upon the scented hill is concluded. Let us hurry the ingredients back to Inspector Brandyhill, shall we? Oh, there's the guy with the head. I may have mollified his lordship with the secrets of divine manifestation, but the stench of my failure yet clings to me. I must redeem myself in his eyes by crushing my most hated foe. How much do you think this guy's getting paid to just carry this metal head around? Like, it can't be that much, right? But he's just carrying like this giant colossal metal head all over the place. Kind of insane. Oh, it's so pretty out today. Okay, so Vondi is the name of the guy who's like, he said like manifestation. So, like, I think turning metal into gold would be a little bit like game breaking, so I don't think he did that. But there might be some other thing that kind of like has to do with wealth. Okay, this one has less people, so we're going there. Yeah, there might be something else that has to do with like, yeah, like less, like the wealth or something else or some sort of illusion or something. I mean, it'd be interesting if they did do like, you know, metal into gold. I mean, but like, at the same, like, I don't know. I don't have alchemist leveled as a crafter, so I don't know if that's like a thing. I would assume that'd be a bit game-breaking, though. Like, I'd assume that'd be, like, a game-breaking enterprise. I don't know if they'd break the economy that much, lore-wise. Inspector Hildybrand tells me you have the liver along with his damp shroom? Yeah. A fine specimen, thank you. I will be mixing ingredients in the starship, so let us convey Master Pew Pew outside, that we may administer his medicine as soon as it is ready. Aww, he's so cute! This is so cute! I can't wait to get him as a minion, he's so cute! This should be sufficiently remote. I'll have the craft come to us and we can commence the treatment. I still wish we could have gotten, like, the flying saucer as a mount, but maybe it'll be something else. We're just waiting. He's just drinking tea. I love it. Now she's just asleep. This is great. The stalker's right over there with his little, like, branches. Oh, I feel so much better. I cannot thank you all enough. Master Pew Pew recovered his strength in mere moments. 'Twould seem his powers of recuperation are just as advanced as his technology. He's just here with the little sticks, just swaying in the breeze. I'm gonna sway with the little stalker over there. Hang on. Hang on, I have a little flag. I got it for when I die. Just gonna sway. I don't have branches, but I have this little flag, so we're just gonna sway. Sway with the stalker here. I came here from another world, a stranger you've no cause to trust, and yet you've treated me so kindly. The people of the star are so very welcoming. Oh, you are our dear friend now, Master Pew Pew. 'Tis our pleasure to help. Seriously, how much is this guy getting paid? And it will be my pleasure to harm. It's just a head. I don't know what it's a head. Oh, he shoots snot bubbles. That's something. I really want this as like a fashion accessory, an emote or something, or for us to do it, or be able to do it. I will not fall for the same trick twice. This is so anime. Oh no, Brandyhild! Can't have a Hildybrand adventure without someone flashing their ass. Okay, I can cast a shield, we're fine. Oh, he's gonna... I love it, it's just little, like... It's like Nashu's little, like... This is great. This is just phenomenal. Oh, you have to love Hildybrand. I love that the Hildybrand... It's just... Are we getting more Blitzball references? Imprudent worms, taste my full power! Okay, now he's spitting at us. Noshu's time! Come on, you got good aim, girl! I do like this Noshu character development we're getting. Come on, you can do it! You throw bombs all the time! Yeah, it's Hildybrand. This is not happening. We're all like, no! But it's only gotta, like, he's gonna shoot it. So it's only gotta, like, yeah. Oh, Blitzball reference! Let's go! Well, that's a cool moment. Can't wait to take screenshots of that in G-Pose. Or not G-Pose, it would be New Game Plus. Oh, poor little kobold. Not again! Team Rocket blasting off at the speed of light! Yeah, okay. Are you getting paid, sir? Like, if you're not getting paid over minimum wage, this is not worth it. You took the full force of that destructive beam, yet here you stand, somewhat singed, but apparently unharmed. I've pondered and puzzled over this inexplicable fortitude of yours, and feel compelled to ask. Are you an alien? Aha! Fine jest, but I assure you I'm without a doubt an old unborn Mandeville of terrestrial Huron stock. He's Hildybrand, agent of inquiry and Inspector Sordaire. What more do you need to know? Besides the fact that I am definitely going to deactivate Brynda Hild and take him with me. Hey, Nero! Where to even begin? But never mind, we have more pressing matters. Such as locating Master Pew-Pew's missing comrade. This time we reopen the case of the silent correspondent. Yes, exactly. He's just over here swaying. And I have a firm theory as to who it was that took the wreckage and its erstwhile pilot. The Charlians! Nope, 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 nope. Nope. I'm all but certain they've allied with the insidious terrestrials, which means they'll be under orders to remove any evidence of alien activity. The Lilliporites are not very different than whatever Pew Pew is. I hope we get to visit Pew Pew's planet as well someday, but very, very different. I am okay. I am okay, and it's okay to be okay. Okay is wonderful. Happy to be doing Hildybrand. I really want to get the new weapons. They look super sexy. I'll wager we find what we're looking for in Old Charlian. We need only infiltrate their operations and expose this nefarious conspiracy. The Charlians can't be bothered to formula ally with foreign nations, much less aliens, and the low ports don't count. Trust me, they'd sooner flee the star than attempt to subjugate it. This is dumb. While Master Dillian's theory does lack supporting facts, we have no other promising leads to pursue at present. Moreover, I understand the Charlian sets the standard for monitoring astronomical and astrological phenomenon. Mayhap their experts have been lacking extraterrestrial movements. Or, tracking, not lacking. How are you doing today, Nero? I've spoken out of turn. Please forgive my presumptuous. Nay, my friend, I too, since our path points to the Isle of Archons. Pack your bags, everyone. We leave for Charlene immediately. Oh, the minion's so cute. I can't wait to get it. I also want to get, you know, the staff and the book and the scythe and everything. Not from around here. Hildybrand is keen to embark on the next leg of your investigation. Charlene awaits. We need only charter a suitable sea vessel. Of course. But does not the city lie many days' sail to the north? Is there no swifter means of reaching out to our destination? Yeah, teleportation. Oof, yeah. I need to go get my circulation checked as well, because it's been like 90 degrees out, and my feet are still cold, even in hiking socks, which is not a good sign. So that's, yeah, something. So this experimental aetheryte will allow us to teleport thither even absent attunement. Splendid! Then we shall avail ourselves of the technological marvel forthwith. But it's good to have some mental, it's good to have some rest, you know, mental and physical rest now and then. I also, I got, a massive rope burn. It's on my, okay, I have medication on it. But I got a massive rope burn, on the side of my thumb, right here. And it wasn't even from anything crazy. Usually when I get crazy rope burns, it's because, you know, a horse spooked and tried to bolt. Or one of my dogs got really into something and tried to, run to it. Usually it's bear, right? But, no. This time, I literally just moved the rope over my hand lightly, and it just scraped up my hand. And I was just like, I just was like, ah, fuck. And it's bad. I don't know what I did to do that. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had this bad rope burns, because I'm no longer working with, super green horses anymore. Super wild horses. When I was working with, wild and, you know, abused horses, it would happen, I'd get really bad rope burns all the time. Because, they would just, you know, take off or whatever. When I was working with a lot of, you know, doing more stuff with, because Bear does have a tendency to, bolt when he does have, his, weird, bad vibes thing. But he's a lot better at that now. But when we first got him, it was a little worse. So I was like, okay. But yeah, it's not, I haven't gotten one this bad in years, so it's been interesting. So this is the city of learning. A sophisticated gentleman should feel right at home here. How are you all not sick to your stomachs? Experimental aetherytes make travel exceptionally more fun. Sometimes I feel as I'm the only person in this group of eccentrics, only normal person. DeLorean, you are not. You are also very, very not. You, no. But, this is not the time to succumb to nausea. Not here in the belly of the beast. Rumor has it that the Charlene's secret agents travel to the star in search of specimens, which they collect and bring home to a confidential research project. Said project is conducted in a huge underground military facility. If we're to find answers, then we need to look. Okay, DeLorean. It's called Labyrinthos. You can literally just walk in. It was the first place we were able to go. It's not that protected. We're friends with a lot of the people. You are just so out of DeLorean lives in this little, his mind is very walled off. It's people say there's a comfort square, where, like, if you leave the square, you're leaving your comfort zone, and you need to be able to, like, make your square bigger and bigger to leave your comfort zone. DeLorean's mind is a comfort square, but there's, like, one way out, and it kind of has, like, a mushroom cloud above it, and, like, so it's like, yeah, he's not seeing the real world in front of his eyes. He's kind of seeing, like, above his eyes. I don't know if that makes sense. It's very, like, I'm probably not formulating it correctly. Yeah, Gleaners, Labyrinthos, not a military facility. You mean the Gleaners, right? They just travel. These Gleaner traps sound like they might know a thing or two. I say we pay them a visit in their little underground base. It's not a base. It's not at all. We simply take the lift from Hall of Artifice, yes, and let us be on our way. Oh, great. We get to go experience the third grader recorder setting whenever it gets sunny out. Labyrinthos is not my favorite place in this game. I'll say that. Like, I really just hate the music in it. And it's also just the way it's designed. It's designed similarly to those, like, 3-tiered Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns things. Not on the same level of extreme, but I generally like being able to just not have to deal with that. Like, not have to deal with, like, trying to navigate, like a worm in a cake, essentially. These must be the lists in question. Do you wish to descend into Labyrinthos, madam? Yep, let's go. My apologies, but each of your companions must also secure the proper permissions before we can allow them entrance. If it is assurances you need, then surely a single glance is all you require to judge us trustworthy. Hildybrand, you are not, your clothes do not scream trustworthy right now. Can we get that emote? I want that emote. The, like, I would use the hell out of that. I could certainly make some judgments, but that is neither here nor there. Admission into Labyrinthos is subject to forum policy. You're the ones who should be judged. I know what you're hiding. Aliens and xenotechnology in that underground base of yours. Admit it. Xenotechnology? I sincerely have no idea what you're talking about. You are insane. Not yet. Oh, yet our paths do cross again in the most serendipitous fashion. Godbert! Father, what business brings you to Charlian? I am in search of a certain object, one crucial to the refinement of the Mandeville weaponry. My investigations lead me to believe it is found here in Labyrinthos. As you also seem to have business down below. This is my son and his bosom companions. If I vouch for their character, would you kindly allow them to board the lift? Ah, Master Godbert Mandeville. This is your kid. Great. The forum sent word of your impending arrival. As a member of the syndicate, your ambassadorial status affords you an entourage of up to 5 members. Pray consider if their permissions arranged. I have a bad feeling about this, but I don't think it matters. I know not your current mission, but for the time being, I suggest you accompany to the Archeon. Sounds good. Oh, and the stalker was met with, he's got to get through. I am about to stop this man from harassing this Makote lady. See, it's gotta, at least you can see everything. I will say that. When you, like, because, I mean, Guild Wars 2 has, like, the scaling system, right? So you can see like upper, lower, in between in the map, which is cool. It's nice that they allow you to do that, but it's still a little convoluted. But yeah, I don't really, like, I'm glad they didn't do that in, like, Path of Fire. It's a little bit there in End of Dragons, but not really. Also, End of Dragons is a lot better. Like, they definitely have been learning as time, like, it gets better and better, so. But yeah, I don't like the, like, worm in a cake type of thing. From what Father tells me, this storage facility is replete with samples and specimens collected from every land on Aetheris. If anyone has information concerning visiting aliens and crashed starships, it will be these studious folk. A shiny silver saucer. I'm sorry, but we have no record of any such object in our archives, either whole or in part. Or so you would have us believe, but the purpose of this complex and military fortress is plain. You cannot deny that you're conducting secret research on alien starships. We are not conducting secret research on alien starships. Yes, we did build a starfaring vessel into Thamazuan, but it is neither for military purposes nor of extraterrestrial origin. Disguising your foul lies with a sprinkling of truth, are we? Fine, I'll dig up the facts myself and everyone will hear what you're really up to. Dear Lord. While I cannot assist with your missing craft, I do recall seeing an individual of like appearance to your companion here. I hate my job. You do? And where was this? Pray tell. At Maryville Agronomics. Please leave. In the medicinal court. Please go there. The lift at the back of the building will take you down here. Why am I working retail? Many thanks, my good man. Well, it seems you found yourself solid lead. I have my own research to attend to, so I shall bid you good hunting and a good day. Another round of in-depth inquiries by the agents of inquiry and friends is in order. To Maryville Agronomics we should go. I still want to get, like, the female version of his torn outfit. I think that'd be cool. I think you can get the male version of his torn outfit. I don't think they have it gender locked. Like, you can't get the female version. I would love to get the female version of his torn outfit. I think that'd be really, really fun if they did that. Your description would lead me to believe you are looking for one of the Mandragoras hereabouts. But if, as you say, it's something else you're after, then I'm not sure if I can be much help. I've only just started working here, so you may have more luck asking the older hands. This guy did probably just send us looking for a Mandroga, just because of, to get us out of the office. Ah, you must be talking about one of those new Mandroga strains. We whipped up a batch of bright blue stray onions, but I'm afraid they've started to rot almost immediately. Not Mandra, you say? Well, the only other blue things I can think of around here are the grapes. Look how luscious this crop turned out. That's probably a reference to them fixing the graphics. Grapes. I wonder if the Mandroga's rotting. Yeah, see, he's like right with the Mandrogas. Is the stalker here? I'm not seeing him. Maybe he didn't make it. I still really want to get the ninja dog. I had the one that's not the ninja dog, but I want the ninja one. I wonder if we're getting zombie Mandrogas. That'd be interesting. Yes, the little blue man. Saw him with my own 2 eyes, I did. It was no Mandroga. A gleaner in the company of an outside visitor passed through a little while back. Nothing too unusual there, only this, friend you described was scuttling along with them. I know not what purpose brought them to the farm, but whatever it was, they didn't tarry here long. Okay. I don't know if we need zombie Mandrogas. That might be a problem. Wonderful! That corroborates the information I but moments ago skillfully squirreled out of this farmer. She claims to be an acquaintance of the greener in question, in fact, and will bring him to talk to us shortly. Who is it? Is it our friend? I thought he was going to get fucked by a bunch of Vieira women. Let's round up the others. We shall all be present to hear what revelations this professional collector has to share. Okay, it's not. It's a similar guy, but an Ellison, not a Vieira, because our Vieira gleaner friend is going back to get fucked by a bunch of Vieira women. You're the folk asking about the little blue man, yes? Oh, and you've brought someone who's practically identical. You must be the same species, surely. My friend was really here, then. They certainly were. If you've a moment or three, I'll tell you the whole tale. Whoa, wait a second. He can understand Pew Pew? I thought you could only do that if you had the echo. Does this guy have the echo? Did we just meet some weird-ass, like... To begin at the beginning, I was in Thavnir on a procurement mission when I crossed paths with an apothecary and his unusual companion. As I mentioned, the companion was almost your twin in appearance, and the wagon they rode upon bore a damaged vessel the likes of which I'd never seen before. Could it be? As a collector by trade, I have a certain weakness for oddities. Thus did I hail the apothecary to inquire after his company and cargo. You're all good, Nero. I'm just chilling. There's no pressure to talk. I will literally talk to myself for hours, so there's no pressure. The man was only too happy to share his story. He had, it seemed, quite the recklessly plunged into a war-torn lands of Garlemald to sell his wares, reasoning that where there was conflict there would be a need for medicinal goods. The state of affairs was rather more volatile than he anticipated, however, and he was soon forced to abandon his venture. And so the apothecary began his long trek home, only to shortly thereafter discover a strange silvery ship and its shaken pilot crash-landed into a snowfield. It cannot be a coincidence. The story continues. After extricating the battered vessel and its occupant from the snow, he brought them home to Razahand. His guests wished to make repairs to the craft, yet even amongst the wonders of the bazaar, they struggled to find suitable parts. Hearing this, I suggested they bring the wreckage itself to Labyrinthos, and they agreed to the idea. I escorted them here myself. Alas, even the Thaumasoon engineers who worked on the ark were stymied by the exotic ship, finding its technology impossible to comprehend, let alone replicate. The little blue fellow eventually resorted to drafting schematics. While the engineers followed these step by step to craft essential bits and bobs, the apothecary and his companion were waiting here at Morale. And then what happened? Well, our once insidious visitor had what they needed, and they repaired the vessel in a twinkling. The repair then departed almost immediately, and I've neither seen hide nor hair of them since. I'm told the apothecary paid a handsome sum for the engineer's services, but being typical Charlians, I wagered they would have happily forfeited the coin for a chance to pore over every square ilm of that ship. Now, I'm no scientist, but I'm beginning to think such an incredible vessel must have been some kind of starfaring craft, and that little blue man, well... he must have been an alien from another world. Oh, you're just realizing this, dude. Oh, boy. Oh, this guy's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Oh, no! He reads DeLorean's thing. Oh, fuck no. Or so I'd like to believe. I'm an avid reader of the Thavnarian truth, you see, and I'd love to entertain these idle flights of fancy. I love that he complimented DeLorean and insulted him in the same sentence. That is truly an amazing accomplishment. But I've rambled on for too long. There are errands to attend to, and I really must take my leave. Good fortune to you. I know his name's Delian. I'm calling him DeLorean because that's what Hildybrand did, and it was such a funny, like, it was such a funny reference that I'm just gonna do it. Can it be true? I have readership in Charlian. Perhaps I misjudged these people. 'Twould seem your comrade is hale and healthy, Master Pew, and in the company of a Hainish alchemist of undisclosed description. Yes, this is wonderful news. I'm grateful indeed we've made the journey. I have a feeling this case will soon draw to a close. Come, let us return to Rosette Han and continue the search. I think I know who this alchemist is. I think the alchemist they're referring to here is the same one who's, like, paying some guy to carry around the disembodied head of Lagoo or whatever the fuck his name is. Log? I think it's some sort of bean name. I don't know. I think there's a bean that has a similar name. I hope he's getting paid. If he's not getting paid, that's a concern. How much do you think he gets, like, do you think, like, if there are Final Fantasy jobs, do you think carrying around a disembodied robot head is high on the list? I'm assuming they're, you know, like, I'm assuming there's some sort of list out there that's like, oh, the approximate amount of gil, like, the approximate amount of gil someone would, like, pay to do certain things, right? I'm, like, trying to think, I'm not good with numbers, so, like, but, like, you know, like, oh, like, I'm assuming there's some sort of, like, the developers, like, are very detail-oriented, so I'm assuming there's some sort of, like, spreadsheet or something that's, like, oh, this type of job usually gets this number of gil, or this type of job usually gets, like, because they have retainers, right? And, like, you know, the higher your retainer is, the more, like, they bring back or whatever. So, like, there's gotta be, like, some sort of spreadsheet somewhere. And I wonder how much, like, would that just be under, like, odd jobs? Like, mercenary work? Like, he doesn't seem to have any weapons, so it doesn't seem like he fights. He just carries around a head. I'm way too invested in this. I'm like, it's like when the, like, it's like how, like, role players get paid, right? Like, I'm like, can my character get a job to carry around a disembodied head just around? Like, would that, like, could I get gil from that? Probably not. Entirely honest, maybe not. Okay, which instance has the least amount of people? Okay, those are actually really close. That is one of my favorite hairstyles on male Aura, this, like, very anime-esque thing. I wish female Aura got it. I wish they also got the ponytail hairstyle, because that one's also really fun. I want more, like, default hairstyles becoming gender neutral. That's my new one that I'm kind of advocating for. Because they've been making more glams gender neutral. I want more, I mean, maybe, I know they're not going to do much because of the, like, graphical update. So maybe when the graphical update comes in, that's something they're going to expand upon. That'd be nice if they did that. Oh, hey, the Stalker's back. Hey, dude, you didn't see you in Charlian. I guess he didn't make it. To summarize our findings, we know Master Pew's friend is safe in the company of a Hainish gentleman, and possibly here on this very isle. Oh, that does sound promising. Hey, Godbert! Father, you've returned to the city. I trust this means your own investigation was successful. That it was, although laying hands on the object of my desire has been a long and frustrating ordeal, to say the least. Much painstaking research revealed to me the existence of a hereditary Manderville relic, which within which slumbers the secrets of a weapon augmentation. Yet though I turned our ancestral home upside down, I failed to unearth the artifact in question. The reason for its absence became clear when I chanced upon the journal of one of our forefathers. He wrote of a visiting scholar's keen interest in the relic, and how he sundered it into the Charlian safekeeping for study. The trail led me to Labyrinthos. As it turns out, the Charlians never did find time to conduct their analysis, but Custodia and I found the courier tucked away in a dusty corner of the Archon, still awaiting processing. Oh! It's that guy from, like, Gravity Falls. What's his name? Bill Cipher? Yeah, it's that guy. And here it is, an oddity every bit as perplexing as Godbrand's Godbrand's cipher-bound manual. How are we to liberate its hidden wisdom? Oh, I can help you with that. These devices were made by the Mandravillians, a starfaring race with whom we once traded. So he is an alien! Starfaring? He is an alien! That is like, they're like, we don't know what to do with, like, they're like, he's a gentleman of light, he's this. No, he's just a full-on alien. Or alien descent. Mandravillians? Yes, a highly evolved species with a master of advanced technologies. Our people shared ideas and inventions, so I'm quite familiar with your family's relic. If you so wish, I can have the device project whatever images were stored upon it. A darkened room would afford us the clearest view, however. Then let us retire to our rooms in the comma and dim lanterns. We must behold these secrets in optimal conditions. They literally were like, we just gotta make this man an alien. Mandravillians, a coincidental naming, or is there some deeper connection? Your family's insane. And you wear no clothes. And you seem to get stronger when you're naked. So, yeah. Everyone comfortable? Let's see what the device has for us. Oh, it's a movie. Are movies canonical now? They are aliens. One of DeLorean's wild theories turned out to be true. I am Godbrand, wanderer of stars and weaponsmith extraordinaire. I love that he's just wearing yellow. First Lord of House Manderville. This is the Godbrand, our founding father. I record this message that my descendants may know the truth of their cosmic origins. The tale is long, but I bid you watch till the very end. Heirs of mine, I am not a man born this star, nor even a man at all. I am of the Mandravillians, a race which hails from the far side of the great expanse. Are we gonna meet? I want to go to this planet now. This planet sounds lit as hell. Let's take the Ragnarok and go to this planet. Wait, is this our true form? Mandravillians are parasitic symbiotes. We can only survive by bonding with other life forms. Oh, so it's like a brain slug. That explains a lot. Yeah, a lot. Also, I just watched the Dimension 20 Starstruck Odyssey, which, Nira, I wanted to talk to you about because it actually uses the Star Wars D&D system, which is very similar to Star Wars The Old Republic system. But yeah. Our essence has taken root, and we supplant the host's mind and strengthen its physical structures, imbuing our new life form with steel-like resilience. Yeah, so they're just brain slugs. I knew there was something alien about that impossible imperviousness. Then, through the conjoining of compatible host bodies, we produce offspring which harder the next generation of Mandervillians. The symbiotic variant eventually takes to the stars in search of potential new vessels, adapting and multiplying. So it was that our race proliferated and spread throughout the cosmos. Until tragically, our flourishing civilization was brought to an abrupt end. Is this one of the planets that Medion visited? Every planet upon which we Mandervilles resided was visited by an inexplicable calamity. Our societies were brought to ruin by life forms suddenly twisted into horrific nightmares. Yeah, okay, it is, yeah. Yeah, it is one of those planets, like the final days. That sounds rather familiar. Do even stars far removed in time and space were ravaged by the final days. Desperate to avoid the same fate, a comrade and I boarded a ship and fled upwards into the starry night. I love this, like, puppet show thing. We flew and flew until we found a planet, your planet, untouched by the phenomenons, but the rigors of the journey had so damaged our craft that we were forced to make an uncontrolled descent. They also kind of look like colboids. I alone crawled from the wreckage, badly injured and near death. But even as I resigned myself to perishing on this unfamiliar world, I was found by a man who had come looking for the falling star. As a rule, Mandervillians do not take intelligent life forms for hosts. After hearing my story, however, the sympathetic gentleman offered to become my vessel of his own accord. He was himself afflicted by an incurable malady, and with little time left to live, seemed content to know that his ailing body could provide a safe haven for another. With his blessing, I set about transferring my essence. The man's form was revitalized and purged from its fatal frailty, yet the mind which dwelt within was now my own. I went on to build a new home for myself here, making use of my people's technologies to ply the blacksmith's trade. I wed a local lass, and together we had a child. Wait, so he also, like, it's just that, like, all Manderville men just have a type, and that's a lady with pigtails and a frying pan, is what I'm getting here. Although not pure Mandervillian, our offspring exhibits the same enhanced physiology. A boon, I suspect, shall be passed down for generations through the bloodline of House Manderville. My dear descendants, the folk of the star are most fragile, yet as the first man I encountered did demonstrate, they are nevertheless capable of surpassing love and generosity. Yeah, okay, all Manderville men just have a type, is what I'm hearing. Foreseeing. As the last of the Mandervillians, I have but one request to make of you. Pray employ your superlative abilities, attributes, and my armory of Manderville arrangements for the benefit of these wonderful people with whom I hold in the highest regard. And there's the dance. And there's the dance. Yep, we've been doing an alien dance this entire time. What an astounding development. I, Hildybrand Halidor, Maximilian of Manderville, shall heed the passionate plea of my illustrious forebearer. No case is too big or too small should it be in the service of my fellow man. He learns he's descended from extraterrestrial being, and it's still business as usual. But wait a minute, then why is Lady Julian so monstrously strong? Is she descendant of aliens too? might be inbred. That just might be what we're learning here. Well, this is most unexpected. Never did it cross my mind that our esteemed ancestor might hail from beyond the heavens. But I do wonder if that self-same blood still runs thick in our veins. The family tree I glanced over some years ago suggests that, but 'tis unimportant. My present purpose remains unchanged. I will bring our Manderville weaponry to the peak of perfection, for Godbrand and for the good of our star. Okay, so there's more mysteries with Hildybrand, so he might not actually be descended from aliens. Before I forget, I have a gift for you, Rosa. Pray await me at the Aetheryte Plaza, and I shall bring it to you forthwith. Oh, thanks. I don't have to walk. Some truths can shatter the foundations of our beliefs when brought to light, but I have to say, this wasn't one of them. The more staggering discovery that I've devoted to readers in Charlian, those who pursue my publication are allies against the ever-expanding webs of lies and deception without exception. I have misjudged the Charlian people. They are not collaborators or the architects of a conspiracy, but are seekers of knowledge, unafraid to plumb the depths of the unknown. That literally, yeah, that's the whole description. Like, dude. That Master Pew Pew, though, that one still has ulterior motives. I bet my life on it. Stand ready, for we shall have need of your strength when he shows his true colors. I don't really think so. I hope you've not been waiting long. Hey, Gobber. 'Tis a gift I mentioned. Pew Pew! Or, a clockwork Pew Pew, but still. Master Pew Pew's earnest request inspired me to indulge in a spot of clockwork craftsmanship between weaponsmithing sessions. I thought only fitting that you be the one to care for this diminutive simulacrum. Consider it a memento of your adventures together. Hell yes, let's do it. Oh, it's so cute! Look at the way it runs! And as for our Manderville weaponry project, I believe my ancestor's artifact has unlocked the door to the next stage of improvements. Should you find time to offer your assistance, announce yourself to Master Gerald, and I shall endeavor to join you with utmost celerity. Until then, my dear Rosa. Yay, we get to pew pew! Wait, it's gonna do its thing. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Thavnir. Okay, so this guy actually took a boat to get the head. So he's gotta be paid decently well at least, right? Oh! Oh, I had a feeling it was the alchemist guy. I had a feeling. Lord Vondi, I come with ill tidings. Professor Lagu has set an ambush for his nemesis, but was once more defeated. His current whereabouts are unclear. That blithering dot. Yeah, I was right that it was with this guy. I mean, as soon as they said the name, I was like, oh yeah, this is where we're going. Is he making clones of himself? He is. Okay. No matter, preparations are well underway. The manifestation will proceed as planned. So he's just making an army of himself? Why? That seems like an identity crisis of insane proportions. take over, like, this is a dumb idea, buddy. I don't know what it is, but anything that involves you making an army of yous is just... Extraterrestrial calamity. Cosmically altered physiology. A gentleman's man, the first of their clan, an ancestor of quality, our godbrand Manderville. Truth can be stranger than the tallest tale. See you, Inspector. Weapon time, weapon time. Oh, wait. Yay! We have a pew-pew! Oh, and it does a little run! I want the flying saucer to be a mount. I want a mount that's just a flying saucer. I think that'd be amazing. I see a new vendor. Well, that's for the it's probably for the, like, glamour pieces. Okay. Running like it's on a roller coaster. That'd be fun. Oh, it's you. What's that kind of welcome, Geralt? Supposedly, lore-wise, he was once married to Rowena. Like, lore-wise. I suppose that bespectacled fop did mention he'd make some kind of breakthrough and needed to round up the usual suspects. I shall inform his lordship of your arrival. Raza, welcome, welcome. I do hope you are prepared for another spot of modest labor, for I have plucked a new weaponsmithing secret from the depths of my family's extraordinary heirloom. As for why Godbrand abandoned his cipher journals, 'twould seem he desired greater security afforded by the relic's recording apparatus. That he so feared this knowledge would fall into the wicked hands bespeaks the destructive potential of what we seek to recreate. Speaking of which, this stage of augmentation will require a fundamental alteration to the weaponry's design. Godbrand understood that individual wielders have different needs and preferences, and thus conceived a method to modify each arraignment's best qualities. Essential to the process was a new type of oil known as Salamanderville. By subtly adjusting the precise ratio of ingredients for this coating, we can influence the paths of etherical conductivity as we see fit. Ugh, more bloody oil. The oil's chief ingredient is, once again, derived from a meteorite, specifically an anacronite with amplifying properties. Ah, so many out-of-world materials, but 'tis unsurprising now that we know the alien origin of Godbrand's weaponsmithing techniques. Alien origin, you say? Little wonder I weren't familiar with them. As has become customary, I shall prepare the bulk of necessary resources whilst you procure our supply of anacronite. Aye, and a lovely bloody custom that it is. Man your means, I reckon you could buy a mountain of them space rock as well. And I will gladly do so, except for the merchant in question will accept not less than specific type of tombstone in trade. As much as it pains me to impose upon Raza further, she is the best equipped to handle that onerous task. These improvements call for drastic reforging, and it is your expertise that shall see us succeed or fail as well, Master Giot. Fine, I'll shut me gob and do as I'm told. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm getting the distinct impression you've lost interest in this project. You bloody think? Look, I took this job to pay off me drinking debts. Now that I've managed that, I got no desire to keep working for the underdressed, overprimped, pretentious arse. I see. Admittedly, even from the beginning, your distaste for me was rather poorly concealed. And I fear such festering antagonism will adversely affect our smithing endeavors. Yes, let us resolve our differences over a flagon of fine spirits, or several, as circumstances dictate. All at my expense, of course. Free liquor it is, then you best be bringing your biggest purse. Rosa, you must join us. If you'd be so kind to secure a table at the Mahane, I shall bring along in short order. So, we're gonna go get batshit drunk, just blackout, and, I have a feeling Gerald is going to lose a lot of money on something, and that's going to be how we keep him in this. Oh, a splendid night for spirituous beverages. You're sure about this then, are ya? I have a mighty thirst, and I'll not be slacked by the cheap stuff. What of you, Rosa? Will you be following Master Gerald's fine example? No thanks. I think I'll just, you know what? We need a designated driver to get you two home. Very well, we shall order you a tasty alternative. Yeah, I think you guys are going to need a designated driver. Your beverages, Lord Godbert, enjoy. To your health, my friends! Right, no point beating around the bush. I've had your guts for a good long while now. Ah, so even my insides offend you. Why might that be? Cause for a proper artisan, devotion to your craft ought to be the #1 priority. But you're off found in a consortium or building some fool's playground for fleecing the masses. You're a bloody merchant, that's what you are. You believe my devotion is insufficient then. Yet our works require not only the sweat of our brow, but capital to cover expenses, no? Thus does not a steady revenue facilitate the creative process. In that respect, my business ventures have allowed me to indulge in goldsmithing projects I could never have otherwise afforded. Goldsmithing is very expensive. It is not true that you craft kettles as a means to repay loans or simply to make ends meet. Would not a substantial source of wealth spare you such tedious drudgery and empower you to pursue your heart's desire? Booze! We're gonna need more booze over here! It's like, I am not drunk enough for this level of thinking! What really soured me was when you sound your arse on the syndicate. How can you craft aught worthwhile when your head buried in political shite? You may be surprised. My participation in Old Doll's governance opened my eyes to a different world, which in turn provided great inspiration for several original pieces. Well, you can keep your bleeding inspiration. I want nothing to do with your prissy rulemaking of your ilk. We're gonna have to carry Geralt home. You and your bloody reasonable arguments. Rich sods ain't got a clue what it's like for poor buggers like me, and what you've got against wearing clothes any road. Geralt, you're not really wearing clothes anyway. We're more likely than you realize, Master Geralt, especially when it comes to the simplicity of our attire. It's all clear now. You're a master craftsman. And I'm a sudden failure. Failure! Oh. Honey, we're gonna have to carry you home. And, yep, he's imagining Rowena again. Rowena, how do you... Apparently, lore-wise, they did used to be married. So that explains a lot. Bugger, I'm a sorry excuse for a Smitty, and that's all that matters. He seems to be mistaking you for someone else. Perhaps you could offer him a kind word. I don't think that's Rowena's thing. I don't think that's their kink. Through all your sniveling disgrace, I gotta say the nice thing, because I'm a nice person. But I think he's gonna realize I'm not Rowena by doing that. That means a lot coming from you, thanks. I don't think that was really their relationship, though. Right, I'm done weeping in me cups. I'll fix up them weapons, and to hell is with the money I'll do for my own damn sense of pride. We're gonna have to carry him home, aren't we? Yep, we're gonna have to carry him home. Tootsie Master Gerald has overcome his aversion to our partnership. Splendid. Although I never would have guessed carrot juice could be so intoxicating. Yeah, definitely not, I was concerned for our Ghostman's health, you see. He had he'll switch his spirits to something less potent several rounds ago. The Mahane's liquors are sublime, but too much can wreak havoc on a man's constitution. I mean, it's Gerald. He's kind of like drunk even when he's not drunk. There was a time when I too devoted every waking moment to my craft. But alas, running a mercantile empire comes with its own responsibilities. Monetary woes notwithstanding, I do envy Master Gerald his purity of purpose. And on that note, let us return to the appointed acquisitions. We shall require 3 chunks of the aforementioned acronite, as soon as you are able. Alright, I should have enough. If it's the same as the others, I should have enough. If it's not the same, I might need to run something. But I should... Okay, it is, so I should have enough. I haven't seen what this looks like yet, so I'm very intrigued. I saw what the Reaper one looks like. I've seen what the Machinist one looks like, and some of the others, but I haven't seen what the White Mage one. Ah, the heat of the furnace has me all sobered up. Let's have them special rocks then. I reckon that's enough, but there's one other thing that's been bothering me. Was Rowena at the Mahane? I don't rightly remember. Forget it. Let's get his lordship over here before I lose my will to forge. Now for the finishing touch, the maximal oil. Before we can finalize the mixture, however, you must tell us how you wish your weaponry to serve you in battle. The ratio of the coating's ingredients will greatly influence the armament's various qualities, so think carefully ere you give your answer. Adjust the attributes. You can choose 3 attributes to add to your newly augment. One of these attributes will be set to a lower value than the other 2. Once you have adjusted the values to your liking, hit confirm to finalize your decision. Resetting your weapon. Okay. Okay, so it's kind of like the animal weapons where you can do that. A little bit simplified, it seems. Spell speed and critical hit rate are probably... Piety could be the lowest. 1, 2... No. Nope. Spell speed. Ooh, I have to choose between determination and piety. If that's the case, I would probably be choosing determination. A little bit of piety can be good, but I would rather have, yeah, like determination. Understood. Your wishes are command. Because so much happens with critical hit rate, and then, like, critical hit rate is gonna affect healing as well, because you can crit on healing. So, it's critical hit rate and determination, and, oh, wow, that's actually kind of nice. I like it when they do red weapon. We don't have a lot of, like, gothic weapons for White Mage, so anytime they do reddish weapons, I like that. And 'tis done! You're holding the result of an undying devotion to the craft of excellence. A majestic Manderville wand. Cool. Had you not so bravely confessed your grievances that evening, I dare say this degree of collaborative work would have remained unattainable. Ah, well, my memories might fuzzy on that score, but I'll take me victories where I can get them. As always, Raza, should you wish to enhance other Manderville weapons in your possession, you need only say the word. My diligent retainer is at your service. Ahem, Lord Godbert, though it shames me to admit, the expertise necessary to manufacture the Maxim Manderville oil is beyond my limited alchemical knowledge. Ah, don't look at me. If I could mix magic potions, I'd have grown my hair back long ago. I am quite aware it would prove an insurmountable feat for you as well, which is why I've employed a master alchemist. Oh, it's another himbo. If this is the himbo battalion, I'm here for it. Bloody odd tasting clothes, but at least he's wearing some. Our newest addition to the House Manderville retinue will assist with further augmentations and oversee the preparation of the oil. He will also be available to readjust your weapon's properties should you but bring him the required quantity of ancrondite. This has been a monumental step forward, my friends, yet one stage remains ere the Manderville weapons the evolution can be considered complete. I knew it was leading up to that. Let me guess, we're to sit here in breathless, bleeding anticipation while we sort out what comes next. Precisely. Preparing the process is like a lengthy endeavor, so I do suggest you continue breathing. Yeah, I have a feeling if they're doing stats, like the next round, we're going to be able to do some of the other stuff, so yeah. The final step is upon us, Rosa. Pray indulge this ambition of mine one last time. Hell yeah. We do not have enough glowy black and red weapons for so this is the guy. Okay, if you bring him, like, stuff, yeah, you can readjust. Okay. Same with the anima. Yeah, it's cool. I don't really like the green tip at the end, but it's cool. Work for now. I'm gonna go switch over to Summoner. Just so I can pick up that quest. Back over to White Mage, and I think we're done for the day. Mostly just because I'm gonna have to feed the dogs today. So, and I'm running strikes and guild wars with my guild tonight. So, And that's like first come, first serve, so I gotta be on for that. But now we have Hildybrand all done! And it'll just be, so, I am probably, I think it's the 27th and the 28th. I'm gonna try to stream some of the, like, live show and live letter, that is going on then, because it said, like, compatible streaming is allowed, so I'm gonna try to do some of that. So I'm probably gonna be on both those days for a very long time throughout the day, just streaming my reaction to things that they're showing. Some of it, of course, is going to be, like, boring shit, and I might just be eating something in the background or, like, completely clocking out. But some of it will be highly interesting shit, and I would love to be able to explore that with all of y'all. So, yeah, I'm going to be reacting to those 2 live letters at the Las Vegas Fan Fest. I'm not going to be at the Fan Fest because I didn't get in each way, so... I mean, Torben's gonna be there, and I'm gonna live vicariously through Torben for a bit, but, I'm not gonna be there. Also, if anyone watching this, is on the Discord or joins the Discord, I have a new music video out. I want to do a group music video, because it's been a minute since we've done a group music video, and I have some more skills now, and I kind of want to put them to use. So if anybody wants to, be part of a group music video, feel free to message me in Discord, or if you have a music video idea, you can post it in the music video inspiration. Speaking of which, yeah, so I have, so if you want to see more of me, I have a YouTube channel. I have a new music video out on the YouTube channel. I have a Discord server. You are welcome to join. Even if you don't like Final Fantasy, but you like other games, you're still welcome to join. I play a lot of games, and, we can talk about all the games and everything like that. And I have a TikTok. Again, it's been really hard for me to, like, get stuff from my computer onto the TikTok. So right now it's all, like, animal videos from my phone. So I guess if you want to see videos of my animals, you are welcome to on my TikTok. Because right now my computer is having some issues uploading to TikTok. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's, like, my software or whatever, but yeah. Or if, like, TikTok's just not compatible with what I have, or there's a variety of things. Yeah, and then that's kind of it. Oh yeah, and I have an Amazon wish list if there's, like, an outfit you want me to wear or something like that. Sometimes people, like, message me stuff on Amazon, I put it on the wish list, and I'll wear it on stream. Yeah, that's kind of it, I guess. Stay safe, everyone, and eat cake, because the more you weigh, the harder you are to kidnap, and I want you to stick around. And I hope you have a content day. You are all valid and worthy, and hopefully life reflects that, and if it doesn't, you are strong enough to weather it. And I will be here for you, and feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm just a click away, night or day. Bye!